Cecily Jordan Farrar.
Somewhere between the myth of Pocahontas saving John Smith and John Rolfe puffing his first tobacco pipe lies the bloodied, blistered reality of early Virginia. The story we tell ourselves about Jamestown is a fever dream, equal parts English bravado and imagined indigenous diplomacy. But that version skips over the grit, the hunger, disease, and colonial dysfunction that defined daily life. It's in that chaos we meet Cecily Jordan Farrar, widow, landowner, and accidental legal pioneer. She didn't just survive, she sued. Yes, sued. The first recorded breach of promise lawsuit in English North America wasn't a noble courtroom drama about rights and justice. It was a messy spat over a failed engagement, which, let's be honest, is about as American a legal origin story as you can get. Cecily arrived in 1610 on the good ship Swan, just in time for the colonial death spiral. The Anglo-Powhatan War was raging. Jamestown was less city on a hill and more mud pit surrounded by enemies. Famine stalked the colony. Disease turned every handshake into a death sentence. But even patriarchs had to admit, women were essential. Cecily wasn't just background noise in a male-led colony. As the widow of Samuel Jordan, she inherited Jordan's journey, a rare and powerful position for a woman in this patriarchal frontier. Land meant leverage. It also meant navigating a legal system built by and for men. Property rights? Technically possible. Actually exercising them? That was threading a needle blindfolded. But Cecily found the loophole and made it work. Enter Reverend Griville Pooley, stage left, oozing both piety and opportunism. Shortly after Samuel's death, Pooley proposed marriage. So fast it seemed like he'd been waiting with a stopwatch. Cecily may have tentatively agreed, on the condition that it remain private. Pooley, being both a man of God and a man of gossip, blabbed. Cecily promptly backed out and married William Farrar instead. Pooley, predictably salty, sued. His breach of promise case wasn't about love. It was about property, status, and ego. But Cecily didn't fold. She fought back, using the very legal system meant to control her to assert her own autonomy. The case became a referendum on consent. Pooley claimed he had a verbal contract. Cecily argued she had changed her mind, and for once the court listened to her. Her victory didn't rewrite the laws, but it cracked the foundation. It suggested that even in this rigid world, individual choice, especially for women, might matter. This wasn't just a lover's quarrel gone litigious. It was a small but pivotal moment in the evolution of American contract law. Agreements, the court hinted, needed to be entered into willingly. And women's consent? It couldn't be assumed. In a society built on survival and pragmatism, that shift was seismic. Cecily's story isn't an outlier. Women like Anne Hutchinson and Pocahontas also operated in that murky space between freedom and constraint. They shaped the narrative even as they were boxed into it. The frontier offered opportunity, but always with caveats. Autonomy came in fits and starts, hemmed in by law and custom. Cecily's victory wasn't a revolution, but it was a step, the kind the historically jaded might respect, incremental, personal, hard-won. Her case resonates today not just as a legal oddity, but as an early signpost pointing toward the idea of consent-based justice, because that's the paradox of progress. Small acts of resistance ripple. Even in societies built on inequality, people like Cecily punched holes in the system. Her refusal to be railroaded into marriage wasn't just about one man's wounded pride, it was about the battle for self-determination. So next time someone romanticizes Jamestown's noble adventurers or peddles sanitized stories about Pocahontas, spare a thought for Cecily Jordan Farrar. She wasn't just a bystander, she made history, one courtroom brawl at a time.
You've been listening to a portion of the RPTM Podcast. We hope we made you laugh, but more importantly, we hope we made you cry. If you found this episode engaging, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on our upcoming thought-provoking discussions.